attack, a nation to the southeast, the Chams, razed Angkor while the new king, Jayavarman VII, was out of the country. Already in his 50s, Jayavarman was said to be a serious and devout man, stocky and plain of face. Unlike his Hindu predecessors, he had embraced the peaceful doctrines of Buddhism. The sacking of Angkor roused him. He returned not only to crush the Cham invaders, but to become the greatest Khmer builder of all time. When peace was restored, Jayavarman ordered an enormous new city to be built. Angkor Thom would be impregnable to attack. 54 stone warriors guard the south gate, 27 smiling gods and 27 scowling demons, dressed as the arch-enemy Chams. Looming above, a 20-foot tower with a king's smiling face stands watch. That image is Jayavarman's mysterious legacy at Angkor, for in the heart of the city he built an extraordinary temple called the Bayon. Here 54 stone towers loom out of the terraces, each carved with 4 enigmatic faces, 216 in all. Is it the face of Jayavarman, as some believe, for the likeness is strong? Or is it Buddha himself? In his 80s, he could look back on an unparalleled legacy of building, not only of temples, but of roads, travelers' inns, hospitals. Angkor teemed with life, reflected on the walls of the temples, a marvelous panorama of a past age. Hunters after birds, families preparing to barbecue, a woman giving birth. The rhythm of life follows the rhythm of the land, much as it did hundreds of years ago. At Angkor, the ancient Khmer kings built vast waterworks to trap the lakes in the monsoon season. Soon, the land was producing 3 and even 4 rice crops a year, creating a prosperous leisure class and an increasingly extravagant lifestyle at court. One of Jayavarman's temples alone required 18 high priests, 2,740 lower priests, and some 66,000 people to perform the services of the temple. Jayavarman built terraces ringed with great stone elephants, where members of the court played polo against the commoners. Angkor's splendor became renowned throughout Asia. In the year 1296, some 70 years after Jayavarman's death, a Chinese envoy named Chow Tao Quan observed the Khmer court. He wrote of waiting women in flowered robes, carriages drawn by horses ornamented in gold, and magnificent court spectacles of music and dance. Like this telling of the story of Hanuman, the monkey god, and his effort to rescue the beautiful cedar from the demon's palace. But while the fame of the Khmer court spread across Asia, Cambodians were gradually embracing the teachings of Buddha, which taught that the end of suffering comes from the individual and not from powerful gods and their royal counterparts on the throne of Angkor. Eventually, the lavish temples became merely the folly of princes, their extravagant upkeep straining the treasury. New rulers neglected Angkor's costly reservoirs and canals. Crops failed. Mosquitoes breeding in the stagnant pools spread malaria. The empire was vulnerable. And in 1432, it was crushed for the last time. Invading armies from Siam destroyed the great city of Angkor, dragging booty and slaves back to their capital. They left the great temples to be devoured by the jungle. 4 centuries later, French archaeologists deliberately left one of the ruins just as they found it, a vivid reminder of the threat of Angkor's deterioration. The temple of Ta Prohm, built by Jayavarman as a tribute to his mother, is now half consumed by tree roots, strong enough to split the stones. In the nearby town of Siem Reap, Cambodian preservationists restore Buddha figures, rescuing them from the encroaching jungle and the predations of terrorists and vandals that have plagued Cambodia in this war-torn century. Their work here is not merely craft, it is an act of faith. During the 1970s, the Khmer Rouge tried to eradicate traditional art and culture by a reign of terror. But the Khmer people have succeeded in reviving their ancient arts, handed down by masters, even to the youngest generation who are keeping their traditions alive.